sacrifice myself, will I go to hell? And that's something that I think about all the time. Can you tell me what are different sacrifices and how does one go through this death of the ego?
I guess it depends on which cult you're associated with. You know what I mean? It's like, with this, did he die, young Dolph? I don't know.
Yeah, he passed. He was murdered in Memphis.
So was he like aware of his death? Like, do you think he was intentionally, like, it just, it depends. And so, yeah, was he in agreement? Like, honestly, like, this is my understanding of that kind of energy, is that like some people are in agreement to be sacrificed, right? Because they do have this awareness of what happens to them in the afterlife. Like, I had a friend that recently passed, and like, you know, I'm not gonna say any names or make any claims, but I genuinely feel like he was sacrificed, and I do feel like he knew that. I feel that at some level he was in agreement with it, because at some level your soul, your eternal being knows that like this is just in God years, this is just a snap of the wrist, you know what I mean? Like, this ain't shit. Like, yes, your time on earth is important, but it's not YOLO. Like, you don't only live once. You know what I mean? You've probably lived many a times. And depending on what your soul's journey is, what your soul's dharma is, what your soul's alchemy is, like, I feel like somebody who agrees to be sacrificed, like, there's some type of coven or a covenant or promise that deep down in your soul, like, you know that like this is your karma, right? This is like what you have to do in order to.
Do you feel like so artists, right? And this is something I've always wanted to know as an artist myself. When it comes to sacrifice, right? There's a lot of artists, especially in the hip hop culture, who've died, who are owned by labels, right? And the labels own all their music, own all these things after death. Do they agree to die at a specific time, a specific day? Because even when you look at the gematria of it, the numbers align, the names align with the birthday, with the name that they're called. So many things align down to the gematria of it. When they sign that contract for the fame, for the world, for everything in the world, is it a time that they're called? Is that contract, do they know? Like,
I think so.
Like XXX,
Yeah.
Juice, or any of these people.
Yeah, they were sacrificed. And I think to some degree, like, they know. You know, it's, you want this? All right. It's like a job. You do your job, and then you're fired. Contract over. On to the next life. Wherever you go. It just depends. I think it's different for every person, and it's different for every soul, dependent on who they were before and who they want to become. Like, I think each individual soul has kind of like a different journey.